In Alfred Russel Wallace's essay on the tendency of varieties to depart from the original type, Wallace brings to light, around the same time as Darwin comes up with his theory of natural selection, that there is a tendency in nature to the continued progression of certain classes of varieties further and further from the original type. It is important to note that the essay's introduction piece states that although the ideas of Wallace and Darwin are somewhat parallel, Darwin was the first to officially publish a piece on natural selection. Generally speaking, both Darwin and Wallace's theories are the same substance with slight differences in specificity. As Professor Peter Bowler of Queen's University Belfast notes, Darwin's theory of natural selection depends on the struggle for existence between individual variants within the same population, but the term variety was often used to denote what we now call subspecies, local populations differing in some well-marked way from the rest of the species. My contention is that a close reading of this paper suggests that Wallace was thinking of competition between varieties in this sense." End quote. Both Darwin and Wallace believe that the progression of modification within individuals over time depends on conditions, such as where they live, the need for food, and the danger of predatory forces such as the lion eating the gazelle or the human poaching the lion. Although the introduction to Darwin's On the Origin of the Species, he maintains that external conditions cannot by themselves be the cause of variation.
Wallace explores how and why species need to evolve, and what happens if they do not. Wallace states that if a species fails to evolve, then it fails to survive. He gives us an example of the pigeon versus the woodpecker. He says that pigeons multiply and survive at an alarming rate, while woodpeckers survive in low numbers. This is because of the pigeon's adaptability to the environment and ability to go find more food if their food source runs out. Wallace also explains how some birds have the ability to fly far enough to migrate for more food, while other birds die of starvation because of their inability to migrate. Example, the dodo bird. Wallace also brings up how domestic animals, which are sheltered and cared for with the aid of humans, are often further behind in the evolutionary curve. Domestic animals have not developed a heightened evolutionary skill needed to adapt in a changing environment. This leads us to the point of intelligent design. How is a bird that is basically a combination of a rat with wings more intelligent than a woodpecker? Many religious people and conservatives believe in the theory of intelligent design. This would give all currently unanswerable questions the answer of an intelligent maker.
Regardless of the slight differences, Darwin and Wallace both formulate theories that completely shoot down the views of many naturalists at the time, that each species has been independently created. That old view has often been linked with the idea of intelligent design, that every being on Earth was independently created by an intelligent maker. With respect to modern America, where roughly 75% of adults in the country refer to themselves as Christian, the debate still continues today. Most notably, the Kitzmiller trial in 2005 barred intelligent design from being taught as another scientific theory comparable to evolution in Pennsylvania middle schools, yet proponents of intelligent design still fight for its scientific validity.
And finally, new rule. You don't have to teach both sides of a debate if one side is a load of crap. Now, President Bush recently suggested that public schools should teach intelligent design alongside the theory of evolution because, after all, evolution is, quote, just a theory. Then the president renewed his vow to drive the terrorists straight over the edge of the earth. Now, here's what I don't get. President Bush is a brilliant scientist. He's the man who proved you could mix 2 parts booze with 1 part cocaine and still fly a jet fighter. And yet he just can't seem to accept that we descended from apes. It just seems pathetic to be so insecure about your biological superiority to a group of feces-flinging, rouge-buttocked monkeys that you have to make up fairy tales like we came from Adam and Eve, and then cover stories for Adam and Eve like intelligent design. Yeah, leaving the earth in the hands of 2 naked teenagers. That's a real intelligent design.
Taking all this into account, how does the theory of intelligent design differ from that of creationism, if at all?